Hey everybody, welcome in. I thought I'd do a quick little segment on Pluto going retrograde this week. We haven't had a retrograde in a while, so I thought this would be a good time to kind of revisit what a retrograde is about. This retrograde is with Pluto, which is transformative planet energy, however you want to look at it. Retrogrades means revisiting, reconnecting, reawakening, recommendations, those type of things. So what my purpose of coming here today for you is to learn how to use the energies to benefit you rather than having the energies use you, if that makes sense. It is going to travel through Capricorn. So, and I'm going to talk to you about what you need to look at before watching the video. You're going to pull up a natal chart if you don't already know your birth chart. And you can get them free online. You can Google them through Cafe Astrology, different ones, and you can get a quick chart. The chart's circular. So at the circle rim, you're going to find Capricorn, and then you're going to look up to see which house Capricorn is in for you. And we're going to talk about each of these houses in a moment and how it's going to or could affect you in that house. So again, the purpose of this is how to kind of use the energies as opposed to having the energies use you through this retrograde. Retrogrades happen every year. We haven't had one in a while, like I said, and this one's going to be for about 6 months, something like that. And Pluto it's about control, it's about power, it's somewhat of a dark type of an energy emitting, very comfortable in the 8th house, which is a house of transformation. But we're gonna get into that in a minute. Also, it's occurring at 26 degrees. So sun, moon, rising. Take a look at those parts of your chart as well. If you've got anything in those areas in the 26th, 25th degree, you're definitely going to be impacted, right? So you're going to want to pay attention to this. All right, so let's get started with it. In the first house. The first house is all about yourself, who you are. So when Pluto is retrograde on the 27th, this can affect how you handle the way you look, the way you present yourself, the way you're thinking, anything that has to do with you and who you are. It could even affect your relationships and how you show up in a relationship. So, you may want to rethink how you're handling yourself. Sometimes we get into these, some people call them bouts of depression, but where you go through a period of time where I really don't care what I look like. I'm not going to do my hair today. I'm not going to put on makeup. I'm just going to walk around in just scraggly clothes. I don't care what people think of me or how they see me. So if you were a person or are a person that cares about your appearance, could be that this retrograde may flip that about you a little bit, where you just don't care quite as much about what your appearance is. So those type of things. The second house is about values. It's about what we value. It's how you create wealth. What your outlook is on how you evaluate what is important to you. This could be a loss of a feeling of power for you. If you value family, if you value money, If you value friendships, then some of these things that you value could result in a loss of some kind. So pay close attention to that. You know, a lot of times in these retrogrades, it's about, like I said, rethinking, reorganizing, remembering. Anything with a re on it is what a retrograde basically has to do with, right? Communication, issues of being assertive or not asserting yourself enough. How do you communicate with others? That's going to be something that could be affected during this retrograde. If you are a calm communicator, you could turn into a very aggressive communicator. If you're aggressively communicating, you might tone that down a bit and not be so wah in somebody's face, right? Kind of back off on that a little bit. So you have to kind of gauge this with how you are and how you present yourself to the world, how someone else sees you. So communication is all about the third house. In the fourth house, that's about family, being nurturing, being caring, being compassionate. It's the family, it's the dynamics of family. There could be an upheaval here where your family life was the most secure, stable, dynamic in your life might be uprooted, okay, during the retrograde. Someone might be changing in the family dynamic that you're going to have to contend with. You could be changing your dynamic. You could be changing your role in the family. Maybe a role's flipping in that family dynamic. So pay attention to that. In the fifth house, this is my house, where my Capricorn lies. This is about children, sex, joy, fun. More of the light-hearted things in life. And what happens here a lot is kind of taking your power back. This house with Capricorn in it could mean that you grew up too fast. For me, it's more about growing older too quickly, having become a widow at 36, and then again, at 38, and then again at 58. You know, that changes a person's brain chemistry, and you're thrusted into feeling like somebody would feel when they've lost their spouse at the age of 80, right? And yet you're 38, or even at 58, which is too young, right? And you can't wrap your mind around, I'm not supposed to be feeling this right now. I'm not supposed to be losing a spouse at 38, at 58. You know, that happens when you're 88, when you're 78, right? So those kinds of things. So for those with Pluto going retrograde with Capricorn in the fifth house, maybe it's recapturing some youth. Maybe it's about going and having some youthful fun because you've been in this conundrum of having to grow up, grow old too quickly. And you've been thrusted into these situations that are not the norm, right, in life. So for the fifth house here, it could be just about recapturing some of that youth. This could be a very good time in this 6 months to go out and just be youthful again, right? Not concentrating on what the loss has been, but, you know, how to have some more fun. The sixth house is about health, routine care. there could be an upheaval in your health situation. Maybe you're somebody that exercised 6 days a week, or you went to the gym regularly, or you ate a very healthful vegan diet. And now during this retrograde, something happens where you're saying, I'm not going to the gym anymore. I don't want to work out. I don't want to devote that much time to my health care. I'm going to eat whatever I want. Be very cautious of some of those changes that can occur if it's in your 6th house. Your 7th house is about relationships. Again, this could be a role reversal in relationships. And when I say relationships, it could be friends, family, co-workers, whoever you have relationships with on a day-to-day basis. So there could be a shift in power of the roles, or, playing mind games with people. That could be happening. If you've had a very stable, very steady relationship with someone, like I said, it could be work, it could be family, it could be friends. All of a sudden, in this retrograde, you're seeing, and it could be you, it doesn't have to be someone else, you or someone else is going to shift that perception a bit, right? And it's not going to be the same as it was before. So there could be a shift in power. Maybe if you're working with an associate and you've always had the upper hand in that partnership, now that role's going to flip. You're going to be on the downside of that, and your partner's going to be on the upswing. Those type things. 7th house is, I'm sorry, that was the 7th house. The 8th house is the house of death, the house of transformation and rebirth. This is unknown territory, right? How you handle change. So, because transformation is all about change. We think of that phoenix rising, right? So, if you've been very comfortable in the past with changes, how they occur, all of a sudden, you might not be so comfortable any longer. That change might really tilt you this time. You might hit the tilt, right? And so be cautious of that, because like I said, this is the house of transformation. So this is a very comfortable place for the most part when it comes to Pluto, because that is kind of a dark planet, right, with dark energies. So it could be very comfortable there. But in the same token, it's a retrograde, so something may change in that. So be aware of that. The 9th house is about our belief systems. So there could be some restructuring of your belief systems. This could be like religion. Maybe you've been a devout Christian for most of your life. Now, all of a sudden, you've seen some different aspects of spirituality where you're broadening that. It's not quite as boxed in as it was before this retrograde occurred. So something like that could be happening with your belief systems. They might be changing or shifting just a bit. The 10th house is about career. So if the retrograde is happening here, you may be contemplating a change in your career or your profession. You may be hoisting somebody out if you're a business owner or a boss of some kind. Maybe you've questioned some of your employees and you did not want to rock the boat. Now you're not caring so much about rocking the boat. Now you may be saying, yeah, I need to change. This needs to change. You could be releasing some employees. You could yourself be quitting a job, starting a new business. So how you think about your career, your livelihood, your profession, your job in general could be changing. And remember, these are drastic changes. These aren't small for the most part when it comes to a retrograde. It's pretty much, it's like a total flip almost for a lot. Not for everybody, but for a lot. The 11th house is about friendships. You might have been the friend that always brings the group together. You're the one that puts out the phone call that says, hey, let's all of us go meet and have lunch next Saturday. Or let's go listen to some live music at the tiki bar, right? Now, all of a sudden, you're not feeling like you want to do that anymore. You've kind of reached the point of saying, you know what, I'm tired of guiding the group. What would happen if I just stepped away and I didn't guide these friends anymore? Would they just fall off? What would happen? Would we just lose complete and total contact? Because people get comfortable with you when you are the driver of the bus, right? They get very comfortable with that. They just kind of go take a seat in the back and let you kind of, rule the road. Well, that could be changing during this retrograde if Capricorn is in your 11th house. Finally, the 12th house. This is escapism. How do I escape? How do I get away from it? Running away from something, right? You could be running away from responsibilities. Maybe you are the responsible one in your life situation and you've decided, I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I want somebody else to be more responsible than myself. So the 12th house is, I got to get out of here. I got to escape from this. Maybe you want a new home. Maybe you're in an apartment and you've decided, I can't live in this small spot anymore. I need a bigger home. It could be a relationship. Maybe you've been in the same relationship with a narcissist for 10 years and it's been very comfortable. Not comfortable in the sense of the narcissism, but very comfortable in the sense of familiarity, knowing what to expect for the most part, whether good or bad. Might be a time now where you're going to say, I got to get out of here. I can't stay here anymore. So that light bulb has come on and you want to restructure how you're living or who you're living with. Okay? All right, guys. Well, that's just a brief little synopsis of each house and how the retrograde could affect you if Capricorn is in a specific house, and it is. Like I said, get your birth chart, look at the circle, look at the outer rim, find Capricorn, and then look up to find the house that it sits in. Then you can rewind the video, or you can even research it deeper. These are just, like I said, some overlying energies that you might expect during this particular retrograde. All right, everybody. I am going to have the first half of May. The readings are going to start rolling out here in the next couple of days. We do have a full moon starting tonight, the 26th, and tomorrow, the 27th. So I'm going to do a bonus reading for you guys in regards to the full moon. Okay? All right, everybody. Lots going on this week. Love and light, and I'll see you soon. Take care.